Again, I'm Kelly, and this is Conversations with Kelly, Woman on a Hustle, me being the woman on a hustle, but I am with some fellow hustlers. Today, I have the Designing Women. It's a trio of women who are designing their way across Atlanta. This particular location, we're at Vino Libro, one of the most wonderful wine bars in Atlanta, the most wonderful wine bar in Atlanta. And I want to thank Mr. John Francis. Can you get a look at John? Okay, he is such a cutie pie too. John, come. Anyway, he's kind of shy, y'all, but he was also one of the leads in a conversation with men. So those of you that didn't come to the screening, you're going to have a whole new perspective of John, I promise you. So that will be airing in July. But y'all still got to come to Vino's after y'all see it. Don't, he's not really as hard as it seems. Anyway, today we have three wonderful women who are really doing their thing. Celeste here, this designing sister here, has done Vino's. She's designed Vino's. She has designed Azul Day Spa, Canvas, and several other places around Atlanta and across the country. We have Miss Darcy. Miss Darcy Harris. Darcy is an interior designer. She primarily does homes. And she hadn't done my home yet because I can't afford it yet, but Darcy's wonderful as well. Melanie Vaughn. She is, she kind of works with what you have. And she's the interior editor for Rolling Out magazine. So you can read her every week. She gives us little tips and stuff. Anyway, I'm going to let each of these women tell you what they do. And this woman right here, Miss Phyllis. Miss Phyllis is a lifestyle manager. What she does is, because all of us are so hugely successful, we don't have time to manage stuff, right? Miss Phyllis will come to your home, take over your life. She will do everything but sleep with your husband, all right? She will do everything for you. All the things that you think you don't have time to manage, Miss Phyllis and her staff will do that for you. So that's the tie-in, okay? We got folks that will design your life. And then, because this is for folks that have it all, you know, because, you know, all of y'all got it all anyway, you know, so. And got too much to handle. So these women will design your life, and this woman will manage it once they finish designing it, okay? Ms. Vaughn, tell us how you got started.
Well, first of all, I want to say happy birthday to Kelly.
Thank you.
And the question, I guess, how I got started. My company, Harmonize Your Home, has been a pregnancy of mine forever. I've always organized closets at my family's home, helped friends pick out colors and so forth. But 5 years ago, I was laid off from a corporate position and took a life-changing lifestyle course. And what came out of it was my love of living well, the use of color and space planning and so forth. So as an interior designer, I'm a certified kitchen designer. I worked for Home Depot several years after corporate America, and I realized that kitchens are the heart of the home, and everything is organic now. And basically organic is what we as black people have done all of our lives. We use what we have and made it better. So I incorporate color and style and placement of furniture in all of my designs, as well as feng shui, which is an Asian form of artwork. Harmonize Your Home, I consider myself an interior designer, lifestyle consultant. Because when you make a change in your home, decor-wise, organized-wise, or what have you, everything else changes. So I got started out of that pregnancy that I had within me to live better, to live well, to use what I have, to enhance society. And that's kind of my mission.
Okay, thank you. Ms. Darcy?
Like Melanie, I met Melanie eons and eons and eons ago, and we both worked at a furniture store, and we both knew that we really wanted to be interior designers, and we loved furniture, and we loved helping people. And for me, it came out of making a lifestyle of a person themselves. I like to create an atmosphere where the person reflects the home reflects the person. And I take what they give me and I turn it into a lifestyle that they can walk out the door and someone will know exactly what their home looks like. So for me, it's about giving a lifestyle to that person that they never thought they could have by just someone looking at them. And that's my passion, and that's what I do.
Oh, wonderful. So what does my home look like? Just look. No, don't answer. Anyway, Miss Celeste.
Hi, Celeste Alexander, 7 Pillars, Windows, and Interiors. I'm like them, but I'm probably a little bit older than them. And so growing up in the 70s, I always noticed that, first it started with roots. I noticed that we lived in slave cabins, and they lived in the big house, and I said, one day I'm gonna make everybody's house look good. Well, of course, a lot of us didn't even own homes, or if we did, we had the home that our grandparents had from years and years ago that was dilapidated, needed repairs, and we never really had the money to fix them. So as a young person, I would study J.C. Penney's and Sears catalog, every color you could think of. And I never saw that in my community. Everybody had either JFK or Martin Luther King on the wall, or something that was imported from Africa. We had a black African
Don't forget Jesus. Everybody got
Oh,
Jesus
yeah,
on the
okay.
wall.
Jesus too.
Don't forget
But
Jesus.
our homes really never represented us, or it was a bunch of hand-me-downs. So that was my dream, was to one day I'm gonna make everybody's house look like that. So in time, next year will be 10 years for me, struggling, surviving, making it work. My specialty is I meet a person where they're at. It doesn't matter if you're working on a small budget or a large budget. I work with that person because that's my passion, is people. It's really not the money. If you follow that, the money comes. And if I do 10 jobs as opposed to 1 job, I end up with the same amount of money, and I figured out something. If that one big person fires me or don't like what I'm doing, I got 9 other people over here to keep the bills going. So I had to figure out, because it's not a service that we've seen in our community. It's a new service for us. Young people are buying homes left and right. Well, we've had a boom of home ownership. And so for us, we're really new to the industry of interior design. You can go on Kroger's and see 20 magazines. Do you see me? No. So we still are out here struggling. We're looking for our place in the society. They have deemed us as not really caring about our homes, but with the boom of HGTV and different shows that show you how you can do things on a budget, you don't have to have a $10,000 sofa or budget to make your home look beautiful and enjoy it. So for me, it's all about the vibe and creating the atmosphere that each individual wants to have, and I meet them where they're at with their budget and their expectations. And I'm living my dream.
My name is Phyllis Joyner Robinson, and the name of my company is Your Personal Assistant Incorporated. And basically, the service that I offer you, like Kelly says, I'm a lifestyle manager. So, and I meet you where you are also. People say, oh, you're probably too expensive. I probably can't afford you. That's just not so. I just have to sit down and find out what your needs are, what your budget is, and if we can work it out, then we do. I'm fair about that. But I offer services, everything from gourmet cooking to running errands, to managing your entire lifestyle. And for instance, if I'm your household manager, then what I do is come into your house, whether you have a staff of people working for you or not. I maintain your cars, make sure they're serviced, I pay your bills. If you have a nanny, I make sure that they do what they're supposed to do. So everything that helps to keep your life going and keep your life efficient is what I do. And I've been doing it for 12 years. And like most businesses, it has its ups and downs, and it was born out of the fact that I was in the corporate world and laid off from a software company. I happened to be on a trip to D.C. for them. I get off the plane, get to my office, and been told that 65 of us have been laid off. I was kind of mad because I could have gone to a party if I had to stay. But forget about the job, right? But anyway, a girlfriend of mine who I thank to this day said, you're good at organizing and you got that gift of gab, so why don't you just start helping people like you're running errands for all of us while you're looking for a new position. It was born out of that, and like I said, it's been going on for 12 years, and I love what I'm doing.
Okay. Don't tell nobody. Hey, Melanie.
Yes.
So I'm going to ask you each a question, the same question, okay? So you answer first.
Okay.
What is the most difficult part of stepping out there, doing your own thing? Oof. And I already know when you don't have a paycheck coming in, and All right, just turn the damn phone off. It's my birthday. Folks just trying to call.
Send her
me,
love.
Say happy birthday. Anyway, are we rolling? We rolling? Oh, Lord. Okay.
Live.
Mel.
Yeah. Okay.
Mel.
Yes.
What is I want to know the most rewarding and the most difficult part of what you do and doing it for yourself. Okay, for those of us that are still in the workplace and scared to step out there, what would you suggest, ladies, on just having that courage to let go of that
Right.
paycheck?
Well, I tell you, Spirit has an interesting way of bringing it out. At some point in your journey, you have no choice. If it's meant for you to do it, you either do it with grace and ease, or you'll be forced to be laid off and so forth. The most challenging part of it, I think, for me, has been staying centered, recognizing that what is appearing in front of me is not what is behind me, and focusing in on what I know will manifest versus what's coming in front. You know, being recently going through a layoff and a divorce and raising 2 men, saying this could be done so much easier. You know, missing PTA meetings and missing a soccer mom and having been in corporate America and having this thing already figured out, and then realizing that, wait a minute, Spirit's telling me that I need to work on this kitchen and help this person figure out Corian versus granite, and then I need to deal with these clients that keep coming to me and asking me questions, and ask for my proper pay, accepting my worth. As a parent in corporate America, I got a check every week, so I knew my worth. But when I go out here and
you knew what they said.
I knew what they said, exactly. If I negotiated my salary, fair enough.
Right.
But stepping out on my own, I had to say, I am worth what I'm charging you. And that has been probably the most challenging part of it. Pricing myself properly, expecting to be paid and compensated, and giving back to my family. The most rewarding part is that this is my gift. I'm serving. I'm doing what the Creator made me and designed me to be, and I'm doing it fearlessly. Everything I touch is done with some level of respect to the Creator of whatever the object is. I think it's all cyclical. It all goes in a cycle. What I give, I get back. So the most rewarding part is finishing the project, seeing a new kitchen remodeled, seeing someone's home flowing and they're able to put their things in a certain place and it's organized well, seeing the use of color, how powerful color is. In a lot of the articles I write for Rolling Out, I try to incorporate some type of, you're not just buying a new KitchenAid blender, you're learning how to cook. You know, you're not just getting a new sofa, you're learning how to relax, because next to that left window is lighting so you can read and so forth. So I'm honored in that. My designs have so much to do with the entire being, the entire spirit of a person. And to me, that's probably the most rewarding part of what I do.
Thank you. Miss Darcy, what's the most challenging and most rewarding part of doing what you do?
I think for me, like Melanie, is finding your worth and letting someone know what your worth is. I lived here for about 15 years, and then I moved to New York. I worked with really, really high-end designers that, and no joke, they only took projects that were $1 million and above. So when I worked there, I saw how a person can give you a check, a blank check, and say, okay, I just want this done when I get back. You know, and for me, I knew it was out there because I've always loved design and fashion and all that good stuff. But to actually see it and walk into someone's penthouse and know that they spent literally $10,000 for a chair that looks just like this, and know that there are people out there. So for me, I had to find my niche. And I know, because I like chic, funky, loungy, you know, that kind of lifestyle. That was my niche for me, because I know if I looked it, I portrayed it, I was it, then I know I was worth getting paid to be that. So for me, it's never that you can't afford me. It's the fact that I know there's people out there that can afford what I can give them and pay it and not blink an eye about it. So when you say, you know, you may not be able to afford me, I do work on all budgets. It's just that I've known for years that what I do is the niche that I cater to. I'm not going to turn any job down, but I know through the years that I've been doing this for the last 15, almost 20 years in the business of furniture and design, I know where I fit in. And I like where I fit in. I'm not ashamed to say I'm looking for the athletes, I'm looking for the doctors, the lawyers, whatever, and that's what I go after.
I think what's important for all of us in business is to know who our customers are.
Exactly.
You know? And if you know who your customers are, and that's who you're gearing towards. So it's nothing wrong with that. And I don't think that.
And my reward, I think, out of everything that I do is that I make whatever I do and whatever I touch, someone is going to say, you know what, she knew exactly what I wanted, and she showed it to me, and she laid it out just the way she told me it was going to be. And when I walk in and they see that, I see their face of, oh my God, Darcy, you hit the mark. That's my joy. It's not about what I'm going to get paid, because I've settled for things that I know I could have gotten much more money for. But for me, it's the bottom line of where that person's going to be when they say 10 years from now. It did happen to me. I did a client in New York. She bought a home over the summer, like 5 years ago, after I had moved back here. And she called me, she emailed me, she didn't even know where I was. She said, are you still doing interior design? And she said, Darcy, I want you to come next time you're in New York. I want you to come because I want to take you out to Sag Harbor because I just bought a house. So I know it's not always about, you know, what you ask for up front. You're going to get it in the back end. And that's how I get my clients, is that they refer me to, I have not done any advertising as of the last 3 months, and I get all my jobs off referrals. And that's a reflection of how I treat people and how I'm honest to say, you know, it's not about the money. I want to make you happy. And that's my reward.
So your reward is a happy customer. Absolutely.
A happy customer is a repeat customer.
Ms. Celeste?
Can you ask that question again?
Okay, what did I say? I said, what is your most, your joy and pain. What's the most challenging part of what you do, and what is your most rewarding?
The challenging part for me was when I got started, I was in California, and most of the people there rented their homes. This was in the late 80s. Most people rented their homes, so they weren't looking for anything permanent. I came to Atlanta on vacation. I said, woo, yeah, I got to come back here. So it took me a couple years to come back, and things started working. But I will tell anybody this: keep your expenses low. This is for real. I'm gonna tell you the honest God truth. This is for real. Keep all your expenses real that you know you have to pay every month. Don't make extra bills, because you don't know it's gonna be a feast or a famine. You don't know that. So if what it takes for you to live every day. I had 3 kids by the time I was 21, and to this day they still ask me, Mom, where you work at? I'm like, y'all don't know. Y'all don't know by now where, because it allowed me to be so flexible. I could be at the school, I could be at their recitals, any activity they had, I could be there because I scheduled my appointments. I worked by appointments. I was single up until a couple of years ago, but my husband, he's not here. He's gone fishing or something. Some nights I would just be crying like, oh my God. So I hired someone to do countertops. They messed them up. I had to pay for that. A lot of costly mistakes happen in design. People don't like this, they don't like that. It's not personal. It was just we didn't communicate clear enough. So you grow through a lot of things in this type of business, and I go back to the fact that it's not a business that African American people are accustomed to, but yes, we are growing in that. And then there are so many of us across the states now. When I got started, I knew one African American designer. I can count 50 that I know today, and next year will be 10 years for me professionally, aside from the fact that the stuff I was doing for free for everybody. Ooh, Celeste, come fix my house up. Ooh, Celeste, come do that. And I knew how to go to yard sales, thrift stores, and buy things, and everything doesn't have to be new. So the joy that I get is when I see the person, I usually tell him I had a bachelor, he's a producer or something, but he's a bachelor, and I'm like, okay, you gotta leave. You gotta trust me in your house, so when you come back, I wanna see your reaction. Well, he came home the other day, I didn't get the reaction I expected, but when he went into his master bedroom, he said, yeah. Yeah, Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. And I mean, the joy that you get from enhancing someone's life, no matter, design is really not a cost factor, it's a creative factor, because art is born out of nothing. People take trash, everyday trash, and make the most beautiful things out. It's who your client is and how you meet their expectations and try to exceed them. So that's the joy that you get. I just want to tell you briefly, I'm starting a new entity because I'm a little burnt out from doing the same thing. So what I'm doing now, it's weird but exciting to me. I've been thinking, I had a client, her husband passed away, and the children, adult children, they were looking for the money in the attic. We said, okay, we'll help you clean it up. They wanted to throw all her things away. I said, no, those are her memories. That's what she lived for. She's 70-something years old. I ran into her daughter the other day, and I went to the home where she lives, in this palatial place where you got to have money to stay in. So I didn't know if she would remember me because I thought she might have Alzheimer's by now. So I said, tell her it's the lady that decorated her house. So they let me in the gate and all this, and it came back to me, and I heard the Spirit say, you need to do this now. I've already got my postcards, meeting set up. What I'm about to do is really something different, but yet it's still in design. When someone you love passes away, I have heard so many people say they never go back into that space. They don't clean that space out of their home. They don't like to touch the dead loved one's belongings and the things that they left behind. So my new service will encompass that, and will create new energy, new life, because this is what helps people to heal. It's to bring about a change in the environment. And there's nothing worse than having stale energy. And please, do not have a clock in your house that does not work. You are inviting some negative energy into your home. So I create positive vibe, positive energy, and I'm excited about it because we still have to live on. And my business quote is, the best thing you can do for your loved one that's passed is live well. And that's by Niecy Nash on Clean House. Because it's the truth. People don't have the strength or the energy or the emotional stamina to go in there and move those things out and to keep living. And sometimes people get stuck right there. So they never reopen that part of the house, their life. So that's what I'm excited about. It's going to give me a new challenge. It's a new venture for me, but it's still decorating and design, and that's my number one love. So I'm excited about that. If you know anybody that's died, send me their email. Because it's a healing. It's a healing, and that's where your joy comes from, is helping people. Money comes. Money comes, money goes. That's why they call it currency. It's designed to flow. Just open your hand and then pour some back. And always do a volunteer project in the community. I've done several volunteer projects for different schools and different venues where you give of yourself, and it's not always about the dollar. We live in Atlanta, and it appears to be that way. But when you volunteer, you don't know who's in that room, whose heart you reach, that will come back and say, hey, I had a $70,000 project last year that took me through the winter, all because I gave something. I never knew it was coming. But when you give, hey, the winter was hard, too.
Well, you know, you have to really, really be a blessing to get a blessing. You know, you got to be a blessing first.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. I guess it's the downside of.
Yes. The joy and the pain and the joy, whichever comes
I
first.
think the pain is, what's Craig's last name?
Williams.
Okay, I asked him about vision, and he said put it on paper, which is something I do. I'm a writer, so I actually write with fountain pens, and I love linen writing paper. I don't prefer to email, okay, but I do. So I
You write long emails too, yeah.
Yeah, I do write long emails because I'm a writer. So I guess it's keeping, staying focused on the vision and understanding that a vision does have its changes, okay? And that's what you say, oh, I want to do this, but for some reason, the downside for me, I think sometimes, is how do I make that happen now that I've said it and I want it? That's what I want. Like The Secret says, it's come out of my mouth. Now I've got to make that happen. And sometimes I think my stumbling block is that. And what I do as a lifestyle manager,